Hi, this is Jaden Han, and this is YLOC 7th grade lesson 6. The first lesson involves writing an equation in slope-intercept form. So it gives you the slope-intercept form right here, y equals mx plus b. So m is equal or represents a slope, while b represents a y-intercept. So you just plug it in. So the answer for this one would be y equals 2x plus 9. And for number 2, the answer would be y equals negative 3x plus 0. But it can just simplify to negative 3x. All right. So now we have to do slope-intercept form, but this time they don't give us the slope. They do give us the y-intercept though. Remember, the y-intercept is any point that has 0 as its x value. All right. So we do not know m. So in order to find m or slope, it's rise over run. But also you could also phrase it as y2 minus y1. Or y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So you just plug in the x values in the denominator and the y values in the numerator and you subtract. So negative 7 minus 5. And then we plug in the y values too, and you correspond it with the points. So if the negative 7 comes first, then you have to put the 2 first. So 2 minus 0. So this simplifies to negative 12 over 2. And that gives us a slope of negative 6. So in slope-intercept form, the answer would be negative 6x plus 5. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the given point and has this given slope m. So this time they give us the slope, but now we don't know what the y-intercept is. So okay, let's just plug in what we know. So y equals 3x plus b. So we know the y and x coordinate of one point on the graph. So now, in order to solve it, we would have to plug in what we know. So y you plug in 1, and 1 you plug in, or x you plug in 1 as well, since you know that 1, 1 will be on the graph. So 1 equals 3 plus b, and then b equals negative 2. So that gives us our x-intercept, and your final answer will be y equals 3x minus 2. Write an equation in point-slope form of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope m. Right, well, so we know y equals. So slope form, point-slope form is this. Unlike slope-intercept form, they didn't give like an equation. But this is what it would be. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y1 would just be a point on the coordinate. So y1 would just be like a coordinate, a point on the graph, like the y coordinate of a point on the graph, and then x coordinate would be like the corresponding x coordinate of the point on the graph. So for example, in point slope form, well, we know that if we know that 2, 1 is on the graph and the slope is, if the slope is 2, we would do y minus 1 equals 2x minus 2. So the reason why we would do minus 1 and minus 2, even though it's positive 1 and positive 2, is that it's the way that this equation is formatted. It's basically y minus y coordinate equals 2 times x, or m times x minus x coordinate. So even if the x coordinate is x or y coordinate is positive, it would still be minus, since you're just plugging in the y coordinate. So it'd be y minus 1 and y minus, or x minus 2. All right, write an equation in standard form of the, actually, let's try one more problem of this. It's number 2. So the y coordinate for this one is -1 and the x coordinate is 7. So we would plug it in. So y minus -1 equals -6 x minus 7. Well, the two negatives here would cancel out, and that gives you y plus 1 equals -6 x minus 7. So this is something that'll take some practice, but if the coordinate is negative, then it would actually appear positive in the equation, and vice versa. If it's positive, it will appear negative. Okay, write an equation in standard form of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope m, or that passes. Yeah, okay, yeah, that passes through the given point. So we know that the slope is equal to 1. So the way a standard form equation is formatted is ax plus by equals c. So it's a lot more different compared to the other equations. And in order to get slope, you would be m equals -a over b. All right, so if the slope is 1 in this equation, all right, so if the slope is 1 in this equation, we would know that the y, a and b are equal to 1, because 1 over 1 is just 1. But then one of them, a would have to be negative. So it would be -x plus y equals c, because one of them would have to be negative, since when you find the slope, you plug in a negative for a. So if m is positive, then there would have to be a double negative so that it cancels out the negative. All right, so we have -x plus y. And now we plug in -3 and 2 for the equation. So -3 plus y2 equals c. So the two negatives here would cancel out. So it ends us with 3 plus 2 equals c. So 5 equals c. And that gives us our final answer of -x plus y equals 5. All right. And the final problem, Sarah walks 8 miles in 4 hours and 12 miles in 6 hours. What is her average speed? So initially, this is what the graph will be looking like. So she walks 8 miles in 4 hours. So she'll be walking like a slower pace for first 4. And then 12 miles in 6 hours. So in order to find her average speed, we need to first calculate. We would have to do total miles over total hours. So let's add up how much miles she walked. Well, she walked 20 miles. And in the hours, it took her 10 hours. So her average speed will be 2 miles per hour. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for listening.